What you telling me?
What you telling me, my G?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
Why you telling me?
What you telling me, though?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
Yo, it's one Delts. What you telling me, fam? Loose chat about felonies. The question is, what you telling me? Yeah, I smoke quite regularly. A chat and a talk, what you telling me? Back your chat full energy. Let's break all the rules when you're telling me. I'ma try not to make new enemies. What you telling me? What you telling me? So, yo, it's What You Telling Me podcast number 3. Yeah, get me. And I'm here with my brother Jeremi and my brother Nick, aka the Nigerian villain.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The Nigerian villain.
Come on.
You get me?
About time.
I should have brought my flag out for you, you know what I mean?
You got one. You got one
the flag
posted
just
up.
hanging
Still.
over there, don't
Come
worry.
on.
Next
Man's
one.
Man's here.
But yo, obviously, like,
True with this the maddest name. I remember asking about that name, thinking,
yeah, that's a, you know, you done your thing with that name. I mean, if I didn't hear it from you, I might have nicked it. Do you know what I mean? I won't lie, like it's lucky that it's someone I know that had that, like, cause
Yeah. Sick. Come on.
But yo,
That's
yeah.
a
So
light
Jeremi, you said you got a little something. You got a little something you had in your mind. And you wanted to spill at us. Go on, hit us up.
No, I was just thinking, you know, like, this is not even, you know, on the serious note. Like, I think in terms of influence, I think the way we're, you know, us people are influenced in making decisions, or like, I don't know, that we have to go to work, you have to, you know, survive by making money legally and stuff like that. So that was influenced by us, by some people at some point. I'm sure those people can be looked as like some prime ministers, for example. You know, some people in politics that told us, yeah, if you have to do this many hours, you will be able to afford this and that. So I think those same people have that much influence in helping us, you know, come together and sort of work together and find ways of surviving. But instead, that's not what they want. That's
It's
something
not.
I've been thinking about a lot. Like, especially the past 2 years, you know. I was telling Nick recently, I was like, if you think about it, since obviously we had some people who have lost the wives and husbands and kids and whatnot, and this all happened during the COVID period. You know, because some of these people couldn't see some of the family members. Imagine you're married to someone for let's say 50, 60 years, someone that you've been with since the 40s, since the 30s, and whatever, up until now, and that person dies on the last day in bed. You're not there with them.
You're not there with them, you said.
Yeah, but you're not you're not allowed to be there with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is something that we were told not to do. So
I'm gonna be real. I'm a like, obviously, just to like, let's lighten it up for a second. Like,
yeah.
put your hands up if you really did lockdown during lockdown.
I mean, I have to say I did.
I did.
Yeah, like
Really?
we did still.
Yeah.
You know, we
No, but for real, like,
Did we do a Boris though?
no, like for real.
I like
Like,
trust,
let me be
man.
real with you.
Whole party gate,
I did a Boris. I was partying. Like, I wasn't partying, but like, you know, I was in large crowds, and then I started blasting the music, so it turned to a party. You know what I mean? Like, we were hopping fences, like, like, you know, like, so, you know, like when you go cages on the fences, like not like the kind of fence that's like as tall as this room. Like, I'm talking about the fence that's like 3-4 times the height of this room. Yeah, the ones that you find in the playgrounds, usually playground cages, and and bro, like I you know, as much as lockdown might have been this bad or whatever for certain people, like, I appreciated the lockdown because it brought me back to a certain level where I actually was able to like realize certain things I was capable of still doing. I managed to have time, and, you know, like, you know, the kind of guilt-free time because we couldn't work. Like, you know, they stopped us from working at the time. So
Yeah.
guilt-free time. You know, the guilt-free free time. So I managed to do a lot of things, get a lot of things in place and whatnot. We hopped, like, in regards to the fence, like we turned up to the fence, like, you know, we're like, we need to play ball. This is crazy. We need to play ball. Fuck it. Like, I'll catch COVID if it means that I can, you know, get a blowout on the field. I'll take that. We get to the fence, we're like rotted. Because we went there one week and the gate was open, luckily, but the next week we went there and it was like, yo, rotted.
Oh, shit.
They clocked us.
They switched it up.
Yeah. So they locked it up. And like, we're like,
That's
fuck.
mad.
And we like, you know, on a fuck it thing, because I'm an animal, I was like, fuck it. Like, I just like started climbing, like, let's go for it. You know. In fact, one of my boys went first. As soon as he went for, I was like, nah, I'm not a prick. Like, you know, the ego comes in. It's like, yeah, I can still do it. You know, fear.
Set pace.
My fear is always eliminated by my fear of my ego being tested. Trust me. So it's like, okay, cool, fuck it. Like, it's a joke thing. Like, we'll climb this, bro. So in the third week of us going, we've climbed 2 weeks in a row now. Yeah, bro. We went there and there was 55 man. Let me tell you why I say 55 man. At a bare minimum, because there was 5 teams of 11 aside. Like, all the man then brought their 11 aside, guys, and there was 5 teams of 11 aside. And subs, so minimum 55. Yeah, there was even a bunch of
brought subs, you know.
Trust me, bro.
Even the bus.
Oh, there was a young buck. There was a young buck. Yeah, young buck, and he had all of his boys. They were all Brazilian boys. All of them were Brazilian. Like, you can see, like, they were speaking Portuguese, blah blah. Bro, these men came with a battalion. They had girls. They had fucking food, like drink. I was like rotted. Like, so bearing in mind, all of these girls, everyone, all the food, everything's gone over the fence. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how much people really wanted to get out. Like, and some of us was like, you know what, fuck you, Boris. And we could smell the bullshit from a mile away. Do you know what I mean? And you know, just on your point, like, some of us just don't give a fuck. Like, fuck Boris. Like, do you know what I mean? And some people, unfortunately, get the news and they feel like they need to, like, you know, tie themselves up in. Look, let me tell you something, man. Like, Boris ain't shown me that he come onto this earth a different way from me.
Exactly, bro.
No,
This is it.
I'm sure he come out of vagina like me. If that's the case, if that was the exit that he took, like everybody else,
But
why am I gonna listen to this fucking pussy?
Because he went to a special school, innit?
Yeah, trust. This is why we're on this, you know, rat race or whatever this is. Because, like, we're not on the same pedestal, but everyone's got to live differently somehow, survive. So, yeah, man, it's tough out here, bro. Like, it's tough out here. I mean, the scenario is explained that you were having fun in lockdown while still people dying here and there. But
that's the reality.
It is the reality.
Listen, we're having fun right now.
Exactly.
And there's niggas dying out there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the reality is, look, worst of all is, like, bro, those COVID stats still don't show that COVID is more dangerous than the flu. They still don't till date. Like, you know, no matter how many deaths they count, the statistics are out there. Like, it don't really show that it's more dangerous than the flu.
I mean,
so you know,
data's out there.
I just really need, you know, everyone to understand, like, yo, were you always gonna be a puppet for anything that comes out of the mouth of the system?
That's it. Apparently so. Yeah, apparently so. But
so what was it that brought that to you today, though?
No, I was just
I know you were
thinking
about it.
I live in an area that, you know, somehow, you know when you're in a certain environment, like when I was in Lancaster, for example, you didn't really feel like, you know, I lived in Lancaster and I felt like this was more like a labor area, you know, like
labeled,
not labor, like
labor area.
Yeah,
so you're talking about like sort of like
the party,
political.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay.
You know, sort of like you can understand the struggle and you've seen, you know, the struggle before and whatnot. Whereas where I'm living now, I'm just like, this doesn't seem right. You know,
right? Because it's different. Or
like,
right,
yeah, like it's
what are they? Are they?
It's so different in terms of you could be walking right, You're on the same road. You're walking in a straight line. 5 minutes difference of your you're from like this shop to the next shop. There's just like a small gap between the two, and this place where you're about to reach will be much different to the place where you came from.
Sort of like almost giving you a feel of the old favelas,
bro.
You know, like where you seen that iconic picture, right?
Yeah,
like, I think I'm gonna get that on the screen, guys, so you lot can see it. The iconic picture where like you can see like the tall high rises in the building,
that's it.
and you can see some of them have pools, some of them have pools on the top of the roof,
homeless
some of them have
people.
everything, and then you've got like these favelas that are made out of like, you know, scrap metal and scrap wood. Do you know what I mean? And they're within they're within eyes view. See, that's look. I'm saying that everywhere's like that. Obviously, not to the degree that you experience.
I've seen it here.
But look at Canning Town, bro. Look at Canning Town. I don't know if you lot have been to Canning Town before in the past. Like, okay, because I'm from the hood, I'm going to use this example.
It looks gentrified, bro.
Yeah, if I went jail right now, if I went jail like 5 years ago, or even 7 years ago, maybe even less, to be fair. If I came out of jail, I'll be like, yo, like when someone takes me out of the fucking train station, I'll be like, yo, like who's trying to set me up? Where did you take me? Where the fuck is this?
True.
Yeah, I mean, because bro, you go to the surface, and you just see high rises for a long strip. But I swear on my life, you just hit any of those back roads, just go behind those nice high rises, and you got some shitty old slummy houses again. You know, you got those houses that look like shit. Some of them are sealed up. You know, probably still got people squatting in there. Like, yo, we still out here when you go past the surface. But there's still a lot of surface beauty, and then like round the corner from it, there's bullshit.
See, this is why I sort of appreciate my area, because it's like it's multicultural, but also you've also got the area that's like gentrified. So I don't really feel it as much. You know, it's there. Bro, I'm telling you, there's literally an area where you're walking and you feel like you're in a suburb in America. I swear to God. You know those houses where the fucking, they've got like a long drive on the side, and they've got one at the front, and the patio is like, you could park about 5 cars there at the front, you could park about 4 cars on the side. Imagine. You came to my crib. Did you see anywhere to park a car?
No, that area was tight, bro.
So why? What's happening? Are we not all the same people? And the thing is, when it comes to like this, you know, the market of buying a property, when you look at that as an example, you think that's making it impossible for certain people. But we're probably earning the same amount, we're doing the same job, but just because you live in this sort of privileged environment, you're going to be treated different to someone else that lives in the same privileged environment, but it's just
a different sort of section
like,
of that area. You know what I mean?
It's the same postcode, but it's just like the numbers just sort of changed, or the letters sort of changed. Like, what?
Opposite ends of the
It's
street.
just mad, bruv. Like, man.
The truth is though, I see that shit. Like when I go Barking, when I go Dagenham, when I go to different parts of South London, when I go to different everywhere I go, I'm realizing that like there's a lot of surface works being done, but there's still in a lot of those areas that are being gentrified, I guess. Funnily enough, look, I used to work for Newham Council, like, and bro, like I worked there at the time, you know, where they just started shifting people out, like they were changing that area. So before they had all these high rises and fucking hell, bro, like, you know, I used to have people coming in, man, I've got a letter, like, they're saying that, like, we're going to have to move out, like, they're going to find us accommodation, you know, but the only options that they've given them is, like, Quay outside London. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Some people talking about Liverpool, some people talking about fucking Reading, some people just Quay, like, just moving them Quay. Imagine having to leave your whole life, and that's what's happening basically everywhere. Every time a place gets gentrified, money gets pumped into that area. Like, you're just going to start seeing a bunch of random people living in that area. It's when you see like more upmarket like shops,
And then,
Yeah. When you
You start seeing that.
all of a sudden there's a weight rose.
Yeah,
Like
true.
weight rose?
A fucking M&S.
M&S, nigga?
Like, what the fuck, bro?
I know you
These man don't have sneakers.
keep that
David
shit to
walked
Shorty
in
Chai
today-
Street.
JD.
Bro, Davey walked in M&S today. They didn't have the fucking sneaker bar. He told me to walk out, bro. Man dragged me as I found, let's go out. These mans they don't have sneaker bars.
They said they
Fuck them.
They got their own brand, fam.
Raw.
They
Yeah,
said
bro.
our brand only or get out. Pretty much.
M&S sneakers, bro. Cost like £4.
What?
Yeah, no, that shit's expensive.
Babe.
M&S need to understand the economy we're in.
Yeah, trust.
Please.
Trust.
Man, just gotta top
Yeah,
up
man.
electricity.
Outside's expensive, sir.
Yeah. But yo, go on.
But
hit
other than
it.
that, like, what's everyone saying? What you been on today? What's going on? But you took a trip today.
I was about to even span onto some new topics. Like
Okay,
I was gonna slide onto like what everyone was talking about, the fights coming up and shit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I still ain't talk about a fight on the podcast yet. I mean, apart from Tony Ferguson getting his face kicked in.
Oh yeah, that was a bit.
Yeah, that was fucking peak.
That was mad. He went to bed immediately. You know that the Windows error sound. Straight.
Yeah, the funny thing is, we're talking about people getting memed off.
Oh, you don't know.
We're talking about people getting memed off.
Yeah.
We're talking about people getting memed off in that episode as well.
Holy shit.
Yeah. We're talking about, are people even like ready for things like MMA and stuff? Knowing that like if you get knocked out, nigga, this is live and direct.
Yeah.
Trust.
Get me?
True.
Hey, what's MMA even like? Because I don't know. Yeah, I'm just from my perspective of like someone. I don't even if I count myself as an athlete. I'll say yeah, I do work out and that, but like
I'll say you're athletic enough.
yeah.
I mean, there's levels to athleticism, but just because you're not at an elite
Like
level
the
of professional or
consistent,
anything,
yeah,
it doesn't
that's
mean that you're not athletic. You know what I mean?
What are the your contributors like that brings that makes you like a proper MMA fighter? Like what?
Oh, go on. I'll ask that question again, just a bit closer to the mic.
Like
Go on.
what do you think you actually need? As a person who's getting into, let's say, combat sports.
Yo, Nick,
For example.
do you think you have any?
I don't know. I'm only just starting.
I know, but
I'm early in the process.
I want to know your perspective, man. From what you know, like, what do you think it takes, bro? Come on, you
feel
ain't gonna
like-
go into it not knowing, like at all. Like, what do you
Yeah,
think it
just
takes?
the
There's some of it,
physiotherapy.
innit? I think like from what I've experienced so far, you need like overall body strength, innit? Like good
Yeah.
overall body strength, especially in like the lower half of your body, especially like legs. Especially you got to train.
Is that no? That's obviously from what I've watched a lot, like the Ngannou videos and that. It seems like obviously from common sense, that's where you charge most of your strength, your legs. And have you seen the Ngannou video where he's punching like a punching thing where they had to take like measurement on the strongest punch?
Oh yeah, he's got the recorded strongest
yeah, that's
punch
it.
in combat sports of
Bro,
all
they
time.
saw
Like,
this movement and in slow motion. He
Why am I
was
not
just like,
surprised at the same
Yeah.
time?
I won't lie to you, I'm not surprised, bro. All of his knockouts look fucking clapped,
mental.
bro.
Yeah, trust.
Like, I feel sorry for the fact that he hammer fists them after. Like, he doesn't really
Yeah,
need to.
he
Like,
doesn't need to,
90%
bro.
of the time.
He had a knee surgery
Yeah.
like quite recently.
Yeah, I saw it.
He had a fucked up knee during the last
Yeah,
fight.
during that last fight. Yeah.
And the guy he fought wasn't any dickhead.
Yeah. No, but he's just a monster.
Literally.
He's a monster.
That's another thing as well.
And do you know what's so amazing about him, yeah? Just off topic. That's what I love about Ngannou, yeah? Like, you see the stigma that they have about fucking fighters being meatheads and like crazy.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
bro,
yeah.
this guy is the most humble of them
Yeah, trust.
all, bro. Like, he's so calm, so well grounded. Like, bro, I don't even want to say he's humble, because humble don't speak well of him. Like, he's actually just very well grounded, very well respectful in his manner and his energy. And even like when he's talking about how he beats, like even his trash talk is not great because of how genuine a soul he is. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like
can't even believe, man.
in his trash talk,
Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't believe him.
Do you not think in his trash talk he talks more about like the whole business as a whole rather than
he doesn't rate
fighting again.
He doesn't rate
No,
UFC, does he?
No,
He doesn't rate Dana White.
He done that in the last few fights. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what's going on? Man, to be fair, I understand because now
Money.
we go fucking Usman, Israel, and him.
Money talks.
They all go titles. They need to bring that shit to Africa, my guy. They need to bring that shit to Africa.
They're talking about it. Like,
yeah, I heard that. I heard about it.
It should definitely, it should definitely happen. Like, 100%. And fighting already happens in Africa, but I think like it needs to be brought on a bigger scale. Like,
that would be
for sure.
That a version of the modern version of like the Rumble in the Jungle, almost.
Trust. What was that insane?
Yeah,
that was mad.
Yeah.
That was what was it? 1994 or some shit. I think.
Rumble in the Jungle. Yeah.
Earlier.
Yeah, I think like this was in the 70s.
Was it in the 70s?
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh,
I feel
mad.
like it was.
It's way back.
Nah.
What you telling me?
What you telling me, my G?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
Why you telling me? What you telling me, though?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
Yo, it's One Delts. What you telling me, fam?
Yeah, it was a movie. It's called I think it's called The Day Earth Stood Still or something like that.
What's that like? Some thriller horror?
Yeah.
I'm so bad with films. Like
Bro, it was just about satellite, isn't it? These aliens just controlled pretty much every electronical things on Earth.
Oh wow.
Through
Okay. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, they basically just took over like in a day by tip. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I just remember they just landed and they started shutting down fucking police cars, police radios, and this and that, and then a madness started happening, and
That's a mad movie.
Do you believe in aliens?
To a certain extent, you know.
Explain. Like, what do you mean? I think I get what you mean, but explain.
It's a hard concept because you have to like, I don't know, man. You have to. I actually don't even know how to explain it.
I feel like
Trying to think how to explain
aliens exist in some form. Maybe not the form we believe they exist in, but they exist in some form. But also, as a mad thing, what if aliens, though we haven't had direct contact with them, what if they're like watching us at the same time, just like watching what's happening on Earth?
Yeah, that's what that's it.
Just
Yeah.
seeing.
Listen, judging by the level of surveillance that London has, and the way London can like just, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's something out there with like significantly higher level technology that can spy on niggas, dimensionally. Like, but
Oh yeah, bro. I went to this museum in Berlin. It was like a spy museum, and they had like all these like 007, pictures and whatnot. All these like gadgets, and there's some of these gadgets dated back in like 700. No, actually, yeah, 700 something, and some of the gadgets were even used as weapons, to like
Throwback.
Well, actually, there was this one random fact I read about. I don't know if you mans know Patrice Lumumba. He was
the president.
Yeah, the guy that got us the independence in Congo.
okay.
Yeah, and this guy was almost assassinated they were going to blow up his cigar. I actually remember watching a similar sort of like episode on Tintin.
Yo, can you hear that? Like,
Yeah.
guys, sorry guys, if you can hear snoring in the background. My brother Y-Biz is in the background. he's put in a shift today, so he is slumped.
He's zoned out.
He is in his own world. Like, so if you hear any snoring, because I'm sure I heard it in the speakers, in the headphones. Like, but yeah.
I heard it earlier still.
But go on, you're saying like weapons that were used.
Yeah, no. Well,
Weapons that were
apparently
used way back in the
because
day.
this guy liked, I don't know, but you know, I don't even understand it. But having a cigar was such a fashionable thing to have back then. So
Okay.
like a lot of rich people had it somehow, and then I remember Mobutu, who was also another president. He was receiving cigars as gift from like presidents of the United States and things like that. You know, I watched his documentary and they were talking about how he used to travel from like his backyard to fucking New York on one fly, and he would come back with cigars, expensive cigars. Anyway,
What, like from his back garden? How?
yeah,
Has he
bro.
got a runway in his
Yeah.
back garden? Fucking hell,
Yeah,
bad man.
He had a whole fucking area named after him. Well, I don't know if I call it area. Let's say city.
Like a region.
More like
City.
Manchester. Let's say the whole Manchester named after
So
him.
like a county, okay.
County, yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. And that's it. That's the place where you had the fucking plane that could take off at the back of it.
Mazza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously having that cigar was such a big thing. Yeah, so I read in this book, even Gaddafi was also, they were going to assassinate him with the same thing. Yeah, so
they got my man with a cigar.
well, no, they didn't do it, but it said in the book it says something about that was one of the things that were going to be used, to basically blow them up. So like they would be smoking it and it would blow up. And it would blow up the face like the
That's some
fucking
crazy shit.
the video we watched. You know the
You know-
boys.
What?
The boys.
Oh shit! Oh yeah,
Bro,
that's
the
mad.
boys. Have you seen this?
That was
Oh
fucked,
my god.
I felt like that was a major spoiler though. I can't
Yeah,
lie.
like trust no, I feel like fuck that.
Yeah,
Sorry, G.
no, don't
Yeah,
worry.
this show on Amazon is mental.
Do you know what? Yeah, that slightly reminds me of Law-Abiding Citizen.
Oh,
Do you remember the scene when the woman's in the office and she picks up the phone call and kaboom, like kaboom, her head just like
Yeah.
almost like a headshot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that sounds crazy.
Yeah, that was a mad thing. That movie was mad.
Yeah.
But yo, like, can I quickly slide back to the MMA talk? You wanted to know what, like, yeah, I know, because people might have been like listening and like, yo, I want to know what it takes to like, yeah. Okay, so if you want to know, like, I'll be honest with you, yeah. There's like several things. I'm no master, so like, anyone that's actually a master, someone that's like at the level of training me, yo, please like correct us in the comments, But I'm gonna be like as detailed as possible, but it might still be quite vague. Like to be MMA, one, you have to be, and I think this is the most important thing, committed. Like committed as fuck. Because the range of skills that you have to learn is more than the range of skills than that of just a boxer or just a Muay Thai fighter or just a grappler. Like you have to know everything to at least fundamental standard at the bare minimum. Some people get away with being fundamental at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because their Muay Thai is like insane.
Like
Do you know what I mean?
Burns.
Yeah, do you know? No, but Gilbert Burns' BJJ is insane. Yeah, but he actually has got amazing striking. So he's like actually a good example of someone that's more well-rounded than anything. Whereas an example I'd say is someone like Usman right now, yeah, who
I don't know.
he
about
actually had to
Usman.
work. He had to work himself to be in a good to be in a good striker. And despite that, I don't think he's like
Yeah, bro,
technically a great striker.
Grappling. Will you put him in there?
Yeah.
Definitely.
He's a well-known wrestler. He came in as a wrestler.
Really?
He holds on to. I think it's still like in question whether Colby got him down or not. But he holds a record of not being taken down.
Yeah.
And like for you to not be taken
Yeah,
down,
trust.
it's like 50%. Like you showed people that it's hard to do it, or you don't, or they don't even want to go down with you. Yeah. And it's also 50. Yeah, it's also 50%. you know, maybe now, you know, now we've realized how hard it is to get him down. It might just be better to try and just scrap with him in a different way. But you need to be well grounded, so you need to be actually quite determined and committed to the cause. Number two, in any combat sport, you just need to be ready to be one. You need to be ready to be hit. Yeah. And number two, you need to like, you need to also like, I'll probably put this as number three, separate it, but you need to always like be aware of the fact that fighting is not necessarily about, you know, you punching man up. Yeah. Like fighting is hit and not get hit. Yeah. And people tend to go out and just get into a hit and be hit and just try and hit harder, you know, sort of scenario. Yeah, that works if you can take a punch, yes, but also if the person that you're fighting against is eventually going to bow down. Do you know what I mean? Like if you've got, you know, I forgot who was speaking about it. I saw it in a podcast actually, but these guys were basically saying they would rather not have a fight of the night and just have a boring ass fight where they won than have a fight of the night and they lost. Because a fight of the
these guys fight.
Yeah, like a fight of the night, is like, okay, exciting. These guys gave a great fight. Like, oh, you had heart, you had this, but you lost. You know, they would rather just give a boring fight, but do enough to win. So, like, you just need to remember that it's not just offense, it's defense. And it's not, you know, this is why I said you have to be determined and committed and all that, because you have to learn the offense and defense of several different disciplines. Yeah. I'd say you have to be, you know, fundamentals at 3 different disciplines, and advanced in 1 discipline at least to be able to compete, you know, at a professional level. But you know, I'm still yet to fight. Like I'm you know, I've had loads of sparring, but I need to actually fight. So with that being said, like I couldn't tell you everything because you know my preparation for the fight and how I feel during the fight and how I feel after the fight is still yet to be known.
Yeah, but like
from my perspective, anyway.
Yeah, see, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, this is what I was good. This is basically, you know, I asked that question because obviously I've seen you've been posting videos quite recently. I've been, you know, doing a little. I actually did bit of Muay Thai in what do you call it, in Stratford.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where?
Like the Portuguese lot.
Okay.
Yeah, there was when I went to college in Redbridge.
Okay.
Yeah, I met up with this Portuguese lot. We used to go to and do Muay Thai over there. So I remember first time they actually put me against someone. This guy was taller than me, and this guy used to actually fight there. Fam, he beat me up. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that's the thing. This is what I expected as an answer, innit? Because when I went in there, I knew that was gonna happen. I knew I was preparing myself to get hit.
Yeah.
And plus, just even before that even happened, there was the whole warm-up session and whatnot. So you're already psyched. Your mind is already psyched because you're already committed. So I definitely get what you're saying. And it's not just about, I want to punch up, man.
Yeah, trust. See, that's the mistake that a lot of people do make. And do you know what? Yeah, even me, I'd still class myself as probably an intermediate beginner. Yeah, I'm like more on the end of the beginner range, and still like a beginner in the intermediate range, if you know what I mean. One thing I can say is, like, for me personally, when it comes to actually getting in the ring and sparring, like, I actually, you know, slyly want to get hit. Do you know what I mean? I'm going out there with the hope that someone does knock me with one, just so that I can feel it there. I don't want to feel it first time in the ring. Do you know what I mean? But apart from that, one problem I did start off with was, like, I didn't know how to control it. So it's either a sloppy punch or, you know, a knockout punch. You know, and I was sparring and accidentally going a bit over the top. I wouldn't say I went over the top. I'll just say that I threw the hand, you know, the right hand, and they just didn't see it coming, and it was a good right hand. So a lot of the time I was getting a lot of the time I was getting people like sort of see, because my technique ain't the greatest, but because I've got a good jab, I've got quite decent range of me, and I've got long arms. So what did help me out a lot of the time was the fact that the coach was telling me, make sure you pop the jab. Pop that jab constantly. And I realized, because I got really long ass arms, popping that jab does keep people at a distance. When I do hit them for the first time, they do like calm themselves down and stay at a distance. But I have sparred like some people that are more serious, like not beginners like me or intermediates, people that are like closer to the pro range, and I would say my power helps me out, because most of the guys that I come against, some of them are heavyweights, some of them are, a lot of them are not heavyweights, middleweights and whatnot. Yeah. But a lot of these guys,
what's helped you train them?
What's helped me is that a lot of these guys are really good at something that I'm not good at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm, and it's the willingness to always learn as well. Like, some guys I spar against them, they're like, your ground game is really good. I've worked on my ground game a lot recently,
that's the good thing.
But I don't think my ground game is really good. But it's because something that they maybe try against someone in their weight class or someone that's at their level, they find it easier to do it to them than me. So as I said, like, I think my powers slightly helped me out in the process. But I do think that, like, overall, you have to be, for MMA as well, if we're going to get technical with it, I think you need to be explosive. Yeah? Like, I think boxing, you need to be explosive, but a lot more patient.
Yeah.
MMA, you need to be explosive. I do think you need to be a bit more active, because there's just a lot more going on. And you've seen fights where people ain't been active. Like, the crowd turn on you real fast, man. The crowd start booing everybody up in the space real quick. Yeah, like,
even the refs will get to it as well.
Yeah, the ref will call you in and be like, guys, what the fuck are we doing? Like, there needs to be something to score. You know what I mean? Yeah, so like, it is quite like, I think it is explosive. You need to constantly be on your toes. You can't be slacking at any point, unless you got a chin. Then you can go in for a slug. I don't know. Like, I don't really slug personally. I don't mind it. I've done it before, but I don't really slug. That's fine.
Would you like wrestle or grapple?
I think recently I've grappled more. Yeah. But I think I've grappled more because for a very long period of time I was just doing a lot of striking stuff. I stopped doing MMA for like several months and was just doing Muay Thai and boxing. So I got used to popping the hands too much. But it's because when I used to, whenever I used to get into any fights in real life, like, I very rarely throw punches. I think I've thrown a punch in a fight like three times.
Afraid of your own.
3 times in my life I've thrown a punch. But out of all the fights, most of the time I've just grappled. Like, I grab someone and just fling them to the other side of the room. Get them in a headlock and make them submit. Apart from that, it's a kick. I've given people kicks. Do you know what I mean? But I've never been like one that will stance up and be like, yeah, let's go. Like, I'm going straight into American football stance, and I'm charging that man and fucking taking him down straight away. So like, naturally I've been always grappling. But like, I got used to striking more because I've done like several months of striking. So recently, I've been doing a lot more grappling again, because I just wanted to get used to
that physicality.
Yeah, man. Well. Trust.
Very physical, bro.
But imagine I faced one Chinese guy, bro. This guy, I was sparring with him last session. He was fucking sick, bro. Mad. Yeah, the only problem for him was he was short.
Is it?
He was shorter than me.
Disadvantage.
So at first, like, I tried to, like, step to him a little bit. Yeah. And I clocked that he was really quick, and he kept on throwing a reverse head kick. Every time I step in and I throw a 1-2.
That's mad.
Yeah, every single time he steps back, that kick came in. Even my coach was like, yo, like, I took him down. No, he tried to, I think he kicked me and I grabbed his leg, I took him down. But my coach was like, look, don't do no takedowns with him. Work on your striking with him. He's really good. And bro, this guy, like I remember looking at his heel, like, in my fucking face, like this close, bro. Just like passing my face like that. I was like, thank God. Like, thank God I've gotten used to like, pam, 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 and step back.
Yeah.
Step back while throwing 1-2 jab on the step back as well.
Yeah.
If I didn't learn it, bro, like, you know, if this was me maybe 7 months ago, you know, I'm sure one of those head kicks is going to just slap me on the side of my head.
You just feel the wind pass.
Literally.
Trust me, bro. But do you know what? Yeah, one thing I would say is if you like fighting, bro, then MMA's for you. Yeah, if you like to fight, I don't mean box. I mean if you like to fight. If you're the kind of person like yo, just take man down, like start getting scrappy with it. Yeah, the MMA's for you. Just clean up the technique, innit? And it's a mazza.
That's it. Yeah.
I don't know about you mans, but did you mans ever play that game of like takedowns? Like when you're a bit younger with your boys or no?
Takedown.
So
Like
at St. Bon's, yeah, we played a game called, well, I don't even know, we just call it gripsing. Because we had blazers and jackets, we used to grab each other by the blazer. It was basically judo. Yeah, and whoever gets flung to the ground is basically, so that's why like
yeah.
it's similar to takedown.
Like as long as the back touches the ground, that's it. You won.
So it was basically judo.
Yeah.
Like we played that, man, and I think that's actually a contributor to why like I ended up being more of a grappler.
Me and my boys used to do that, bro. I remember last time we did it. This is funny actually. I don't know if they're gonna watch this, whatever.
I like it.
I remember last time we did it actually. One of my guys picked up Tayo. Tayo was the one who got picked up. Ola picked him up, he dropped him on the ground, fam.
Damn.
Bro, man.
Bro, everyone saw that and heard that. We were standing there like, wow.
Shocked.
Literally. And the thing is, like, if they're both massive, so around that time we didn't expect that at all. So we was just there like, what the fuck?
I want to show you a cheeky
Everyone
video.
just stopped and we're like, nah, we're not playing this anymore. It's just like, nah.
And at this point, we'll end the game.
That's it, but fuck that.
Let me show you a cheeky video. You might laugh.
No, man. MMA, the physicality of the sport, and just like,
I've been training on. I'll show you videos. I've been training on my, still sort of training on ground pounding.
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you a specific one.
I've been doing some
this is the one you
BJJ
like.
as well.
But obviously, I didn't want to slam him down.
Yeah. That's how I went. Ooh. I think you're gonna dash
Did you see it?
No. Let's see.
Don't worry, guys. I'll give you this clip as well. I'll give all of y'all this clip as well.
Yeah, trust. Imagine if it just dropped him on the ground, bro.
Yeah, but you know, like in a proper
you went
in a proper
quick,
fight.
bro.
In a proper fight, like I'm not putting him on the ground like that.
No.
Like it's not a put on the ground, like because that was a more of a place on the ground thing.
Yeah.
Like yo, in a real thing, bro, I'm fucking slamming him down and I'm jumping on top of him immediately, bro. No homo, but it has to be done.
Yeah. Savage, bro.
Jeez, is that the MMA dummy?
Well, just a punching bag.
A punching bag. You treat it like the MMA dummy? Yeah.
So that's why. Well, I do this every now and then. Just a ground punch for about 15-20 minutes. So if I'm not actually working on that day, because that takes a lot out of me, bro. So you just.
Yeah, that's hard though.
Yeah. So this is what I'm
working on your
about
ground
this.
and pound.
This is what I'm asking about this, bro, because you can be a gym guy, but trust me,
Gym ain't gonna save you.
It's not gym, bro. It's not. You can literally dislocate a shoulder, fam, easily.
Everyone's in the gym though, so that's good to see.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good that everyone's on the gym thing though.
Yeah, man. Militant. We militant with it.
Yeah.
Literally, man.
What you telling me?
What you telling me, my G?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
Why you telling me? What you telling me, though?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
Yo, it's one Delts. What you telling me, fam?
But yeah, man. So obviously, guys, obviously, like we're talking about MMA, like, but I know you man are. Let's be real. I know you men are football men, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like myself. You know, we fuck with I you know, I don't play football as much as I used to. I still play now, though. I stopped for a long while, but you know, because I'm more married to like, you know, the physical aspect of the MMA sport. Like, I just love throwing hands and being able to shake hands after like men. You know what I mean?
Trust.
And you know, like when you have a good brawl with someone, like you have a good spar. I've had good spars with some guys where I've been knocked back a few times. You know, I've knocked him back a few times. Takedowns have been amazing. And at the end of it, bro, like no homo, but you have to give the motherfucker a hug. Do you know what I mean? Like, yo, solid fucking battle. Like, you know, I feel like football is a lot more bitchier to play for me these days. But I'm so into football like that. You know, I'm still very, very married to it, like watching it and, you know, being a Arsenal supporter, you get me? Come on, Goonies. You're a Chelsea man, right? And you're an Arsenal man. Come on, you're done now. Come on.
Peak though, man.
I mean, at least everyone is in London, innit? Like, there's a few man that try to support Manchester United and they ain't been Old Trafford before. You know them man there. You know them man there. How could you support Man U? You don't know what Old Trafford looks like. I've been to Old Trafford, bruv. I've been to Old Trafford, not even to watch Arsenal versus. I went to Man U. I was like, fuck it. Old Trafford's like almost like a historical building. Like, I need to go and see that shit. I went to Old Trafford. I had a nice, good old look at the stadium. Bro, I took a picture of that stadium and sent it to so many Man U fans. I just took a picture of an angle of it, and none of them, like maybe only 2 of them, told me that it was Old Trafford. Like about 3 of them were like, what, is it Craven Cottage? It's like, shut up, bruv.
Craven Cottage.
Bro.
Hey, Fulham are back.
It's because I made sure there was no signs. You know what I was like, I just took parts of the brick wall, like, you know, and you know, certain other signs, but nothing that had like red and Man U and shit. Get me? But
what you man think Arsenal's gonna be at this season?
The transfer window matters very, very much for Arsenal right now, you know. The transfer window is actually, if I'm honest with you, the transfer window is the biggest part. Do you get me? Like,
need a striker.
Look, if I'm honest with you, I'm not so much worried about a striker because I think they know that they are so in need of it that they are gonna go and get a serious striker. They are gonna spend a bit of P on a striker. They've kept Nketiah, which means that he's ready to play like cup games and whatever. Like, most likely. He can't say, he's gonna start X amount of Premier League games when you're gonna bring in a world beater, like, I don't know a world beater, but close to.
You almost got the guy that's playing for Juventus, no, innit?
Vlahovic.
No, we didn't almost get Vlahovic, bro. Like, he said from early, his desires are for Juventus, and like for some reason, Arsenal fans and all the media couldn't just like let that shit go. Like, couldn't let it go. Like, just let that shit go. Man says he wants to go Juventus. What Juventus can offer him, Arsenal obviously cannot. You know, Champions especially League. in that January. League, like, look, even European football, period. At that time, we couldn't offer it. January window, he would have played the rest of the season, trying to get us into Europe.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Do you get it? So, like,
what a weird
it's stupid.
This was.
Like, as I said, Arsenal, I know they're gonna get a good striker. Yeah, I'm not worried. But what I'm worried about is they need, I think, another winger. Pepe is just not cutting it. Yeah, and Pepe doesn't have enough impact in enough games that he comes off the bench. So
it depends,
it's like,
what mood Pepe's in, isn't it, man?
Yeah, but you know, professional football is not about moods. Do you know what I mean? Moods is for Sunday league. Yeah, like you know, where you had a drink late till like you got home at 5 a.m. and you got to wake up at like fucking 8 to get to football for like 9:30.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mate, let me be honest with you. Like, that's when you can, like, let moods count. Like, if you're getting paid bags per week, bro, fuck your mood, motherfucker. Get your head in check. Use some of that money to go and pay for a sports psychologist to get your head in check. Do you understand what I'm saying? But with that being said, we don't need mood players. Like, I do think we need to replace Pepe. We need to let him go.
Yeah.
Take the L. We ain't going to let him go for it. He ain't
back
even going to go for 50. That's how bad he's been. We're going for 75 and he ain't going to go for 50. We're selling for 35.
Lucky for 35.
Lucky.
That's mad.
You know what I mean? And then on top of that,
bring back Saliba.
look, I'll take Zaha. I'll take Nagby.
I don't know, I'm past Zaha.
I'll take Nagby. And I'll any one of those two I'll take.
Nagby.
But we do need a senior winger coming in there. Like both wings are occupied by young bucks. Young bucks that should be having someone that's a little bit better than them that they're battling with, but also learning from.
Yeah.
And they ain't got that, bro. They've just got like, you know, Martinelli and Smith Rowe. Like they're both young bucks battling for the same position.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna push the level up to the level it needs to be. Yeah, and then Saka battling with Pepe, barely battling with Pepe. Like Pepe's just sitting on the bench.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, Saka, they were talking about him getting like him blowing out because of the fact that, you know, he's played so many games for Arsenal. Yeah, like that shouldn't be the case. Jack Wilshere's, you know, prime fucking example number one for that. So my hopes is
the young players, innit?
Imagine banging them out, bro, and making them be the fucking guys that are gonna like
hopefully
carry you to, bro. They almost carried us to the Champions League, bro.
Yeah, like, look up.
No, really and truly, Young Bucks carried us into the Europa. Do you know how big an achievement that is, bro? Like, do you know what happens to most Young Bucks in most Premier League teams? They go on loan to League One and Championship teams for days, sometimes League Two teams for days. And then they end up being League One, League Two players with the exception of one or two here and there.
No, a lot of Arsenal players are above that quality, though.
Yeah, no, but the point is that they're all Young Bucks, innit? Yeah. So, like, they do need some steel, some guys that have won some shit, maybe. Look, if Fernandinho is up for grabs, like, someone grab him, like, you know what I mean? Like, I know he's not exactly, you know, and he's definitely wearing out.
What did you think of David Luiz then? Because I
was with David Luiz. I was with David Luiz, but the defense that we have is good enough. The defense we have is good enough. But he was a good enough leader for that time being. But if we're trying to move forward,
I'd bring back Saliba at Arsenal.
No, Saliba's coming back anyway.
Yeah, but this guy, I think he prefers France, isn't it? Like,
sorry, say that again?
Oh yeah.
I think Saliba prefers Marseille.
Nah, do you know what? Yeah, I think he's saying that because he knows he's guaranteed first team ball there.
Is he not French?
Yeah.
He's just guaranteed first team ball there. That's all.
I don't know.
Trust me, bro.
Didn't he win like a young player of the year or young player of the team?
Because he's getting first team ball there.
Yeah.
The only reason
can Arsenal offer him that though?
Look, he came from France direct. Yeah. It's not that he prefers France, it's that he prefers to play football regularly and be recognised. And I think that's what he's got there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, at Arsenal, he ain't in it.
Yeah, but he's going to be competing with that Ben White and Gabriel.
I don't think that's going to be too much competition. I think that someone's going to get edged out real quick. Yeah. If he's on the levels that he's on there, if he's still on that here, he's gonna edge guys out real quick. Yeah. You know, I reckon Ben White and
Holding.
No, Holden's already edged out, bro.
Holden's a bench player, bro.
Holden is literally
man comes up when we want to go 5-3-2.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, because you can't even afford to have him in a back two, bro. Like a back four with two defenders, two centre backs.
Yeah.
What are you saying for Chelsea though? Because this is sticky right now for Chelsea, you know.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Obviously, you lot just went through a transition.
I feel like this was a weird season, man. I'm glad it's over now. I'm actually so glad it's over because.
But is it over yet? Like I swear, like Abramovich is trying to like take some action. Like he wants his club back. So,
but like the thing is, this kind of things are gonna happen, man. They're gonna happen to other teams, like PSG, for example. I don't know what the fuck is going on over there, but something's going on over there. Mate,
I don't know. Hey, UEFA or FIFA, whoever it is, could you lot explain financial fair play to us? Because Man City, PSG, they really, really like don't really demonstrate, you know, anything close to what you lot sort of explained to us or what I believed.
And then you
to
got
be.
and then you got fucking Barcelona now. Who hasn't won anything in how long now? I don't know how long, but they're buying players left, right, and center. And the thing is, I saw this list of David over there. I was thinking to myself, he picked about 3 Chelsea players.
Who?
Javi.
Javi, yeah?
Yeah,
Javi, okay.
He picked about 3 Chelsea players. He was like, obviously Aubameyang was also one of. Well, actually, no, not Aubameyang. Sorry, Christensen was one of them. Aspilicueta and Alonso apparently. What the fuck?
What, yeah, and all of them?
Man's literally clearing our defenders. But I swear not long ago, Barcelona were...
But you know that defense will run things in fucking Spain, bro.
Yeah.
That defense should run things, even without Rudiger. That defense should run things in.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Rudiger,
to be fair, I mean, Christensen, he should be comfortable there because it's not as imposing.
It's a slower game.
I feel like Christensen, when he has a player running at him, bro, he looks so imposing. He looks like he's been pressed. You know, like when you see the YG in the corner, like, and you're walking past and you're like, oh shit, he's getting G checked. Like, you can just see the body language of both. Like, one is looking like he has to give up a lot, and the other one is looking like he needs to take a lot. Like,
The exchange.
Trust me, Christensen looks pressed. Looks like he's getting moved to by one of these YGs with a fucking 19-inch katana, fucking psycho motherfuckers running on these streets. But yo, like, I do think, like, if I'm honest, I don't know why I'm going for Chelsea, but I do think, like, it might, it might be a little bit of a shift in terms of, like, the kind of players that are attracted now.
Chelsea they still have a transfer ban, don't it?
Nah.
I don't think so.
Nah, we don't. No anymore. There's a sanction. That sanction was, I don't know.
Yeah, but doesn't that sanction go when your guy when the club gets sold? Has the club not been sold?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So I thought you man's had one.
So that sanction should be linked. No.
Yeah, that was like 2 years ago.
That was quite a while ago, I think. Who's the most recent? Barcelona's the most recent to get transfer ban.
Oh yeah, and then they've got fucking Aubameyang and
Yeah.
Exactly.
But basically on freeze, innit?
Yeah.
So like,
Exactly.
what can I say?
But now they've got
Bro,
salary.
That Ferran Torres, how much did he go there for?
Yo, what the fuck?
Man was only at Man City for a split second, bro. For you to be able to go to Barca, like, it has to be football related.
Yeah, true.
For him anyway, like, it has to be because he was playing a lot of games for Man City as well.
Yeah, he was.
Like, he came out of nowhere and I was just seeing Ferran on a shirt and I was like, what the fuck?
Do you think City
Who's
knew
this
about
guy?
Haaland by then? Do you think they were aware that was going to happen, so they had to
Haaland was
offload?
He was like 16 years old. Maybe, that's a good point. Haaland was young when...
Because obviously
Haaland's like 20 now, wasn't it?
No, Ferran Torres was there last season. So...
Haaland was 18, let's say.
Last season?
It was last season.
How old is Haaland now?
Like 19 or 20.
Okay. It was literally just last season that Ferran Torres went to Barcelona for Man City.
And it was around last season that the noise started about, City looking for a new striker when Jesus was playing.
Yeah.
That's a bit rude.
Dipped
He dipped.
But to be fair, bro, like, they disrespected Aguero, bro. Guys, tell me if you believe it or not. What are you telling me? Aguero not getting started in a Champions League final, sitting on the bench with Jesus, while Fernandinho sitting on the bench with Rodri. Like, he did not play 2 CDMs and 2 fucking forwards. Like, I know that was quite a while ago now, but guys, is that a bottle job or what?
Man, if you want to talk about bottle jobs at Liverpool, bro.
Oh, what?
I don't know, man. I don't know, but like, yeah. If we could talk about bottle jobs,
if we're gonna talk about bottle jobs, let's talk about Liverpool.
Because
Van Dijk.
2 finals.
There's no Clipper London here today. Like, he would have been like defending
2 finals against Chelsea, bro. 2 finals. Not 1 goal was scored. No 1 normal goal was scored. They won by penalties in 2 finals. And what?
I was just in like 05.
No, this year. They beat us in the Super Bowls, the League Cup. And the FA Cup.
Oh, yeah.
And,
the 2 finals this year. That's peak, man.
And then they made it to another final. And the final before
Did Liverpool have a successful season? Overall.
That's a good question.
What do you mean overall?
Like, they done the double. People thought they were going to win 4 trophies.
I like.
They just fell short in the Premier League. They just fell short in the Champions League. So really, they won the FA Cup and the Carling Cup.
Yeah.
They won everything else that was left to be won. So, and who won the Champions League? It was Real Madrid. So,
Yeah.
only one English team won something, one thing bigger than them. When you deep it, only one team won one trophy that was bigger than the trophy they've won.
Who's that? What? Real
Man
Madrid?
City. Man City won the league.
Oh yeah. Trust.
Liverpool won the remaining cups in England.
I think Liverpool had a successful year, but
I think so.
just question.
Not as successful as they wanted to be, but it is successful. It is. Can we all just remember, yeah, that this is the same Liverpool that was trying to get that Premier League for about 30 years. Yeah, they weren't getting regular trophies left, right, and centre for the last 30 years. They won it here and there, Champions League 05, a few Carling Cups. Yo, this is their most successful period in a very long time. Yeah, 2 trophies in one season. Who cares what they are?
3 Champions Leagues and what finals? And
3 Champions League finals in like 4 years,
5 years.
and I think 2, 1-1. It's not the end of the world for a team that couldn't win the domestic cup in their own country for like 30 years. Come on. So I would say they've had a successful year. I just feel like they feel like it's not as successful. It's not as successful as it should be because of the fact that they've raised their standards up there now. Yeah.
And they've got the team for it. I'm sorry, but I think Liverpool are up there. I see them up there with Real Madrid, Barcelona. Well, obviously Barcelona haven't been playing well recently, but they've got the team as well. And City sometimes, but only in the Premier League. In Europe, I see Liverpool up there. I mean Chelsea too, but obviously they got the hiccups every now and then.
Chelsea dip in and dip out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The hiccups.
Chelsea depends on this season up until like January was all right, and then it just dipped.
Yeah, that's it. Which is, I don't know, man. But I think
Liverpool tried though. I feel like Guardiola is to Klopp what Alex Ferguson was to Wenger in terms of like blocking opportunities of winning titles. If Guardiola wasn't there, Klopp would have won bare titles. If Ferguson retired earlier, Arsene Wenger would have brought bare titles. So I feel like
Probably.
It's a good time to be watching Premier League football because of the standard that those two teams, because they're competing the same way Arsenal and United did back in the day.
Yeah,
it elevated the level of football in the league.
Yeah.
Because soon after Arsenal and United, Chelsea came about. You know, obviously splashed some money and that, but they came about, done their thing, tried to get to finals, won the final.
True.
I feel like we're in a good phase. And
Chelsea went through that little, the run that Liverpool's going that went through the past few years as well in the Champions League for about 7 years before they won it. So around early 2005 all the way to 2012. Remember they went to like 2 semi-finals or 3 or something like that.
I still remember that Chelsea-Barcelona game. That game. Listen.
Which one? There's 2 of them.
Chelsea's are up for me, innit? So I have no reason to feel this way. But that game was the biggest bump I've ever seen in football, man. In mainstream football, that is the biggest bump I've ever seen.
Bro, that was
How could you have a big beast like Didier Drogba running in the box and his shirt is about a yard away from him because it's being pulled by someone, bro? His shirt is a yard away. Man like Drogba, Drogba normally just dives to the ground, but you can see him fighting past man's grip. Yeah. So man's got one of those, where you going, fam? Are you dumb? Yeah, come here, bro.
The ones Chiellini gave Saka.
Yeah, bro. Like, it's true though. Like, real life, bro.
That was mad.
Yeah, but the difference is
for that.
no, but Chiellini's is cleaner. As mad as it looks, because we're English, yeah, we're gonna be
the
burning,
English,
yeah. We're here.
yeah.
We follow the English football. We're gonna be burning. But reality is, yeah, Chiellini even done it in a better fashion.
Yeah, trust.
Yeah, that Barcelona game was a disgrace.
Yeah.
The referee saw everything.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Chiellini still got a card. People thought it should have been a red. It could have been a red, but I think it was probably a yellow as well because
He
of
was
the
out
angle.
the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, he was just on the side, so it was a bit. But that's how the game goes, bro. My opinion, fuck that. Fuck that, bro. Like that shit is legit, man. You know, you do what you gotta do most of the time, bro.
Yeah, true. Though.
Suarez fucking off the line. Ghanaians hated him forever. Like Africans were onto him.
Yeah,
I was just like, boy. I was like, it's just unfortunate that it happened to Ghana, bruv.
Yeah.
Because reality is, bro, if you put me in that situation, I'm doing it too, bruv.
Yeah.
You dumb. Oh shit! Like last second where we've put bare work in. Fuck it. Either go over my head or fuck it. VAR will call it anyway. You know, I might even be savage and just go for a bald-faced keeper save. Just go two hands on it. Gobble it and drop. Take the red. Take the red card.
Take the red
card, bro.
That game.
Take your
Savage,
pen.
bro.
I like
Pray
trust.
pray to God that you miss.
Would you take that chance?
That's. I was just thinking that, bro. He gave him I don't know, sort of
Bro,
advantages.
he got his country to the next stage.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He got his country.
Did you
to
see the way
next
he
stage.
celebrated when they missed that
I
pen?
lie.
My guy was like, fucking.
But bro,
as fuck.
he's basically a national hero for that shit.
Yeah.
At least for a period of time.
Trust.
Dude is a national hero. Like motherfuckers will be calling for him to have a statue and shit.
Another national hero, Carlos Tevez,
Bro,
bro.
just
Man's
remember,
just
not
retired.
even Tevez. Remember Maradona, the legend himself, handled it as well. Yeah, just remember that England just take fucking not England, bruv. Like national teams, generally speaking, take L's when people decide to get dirty because you're talking about pride of people that are being put on the line. Do you know what I mean?
Trust for the fucking country.
For the
bro.
nation, bro.
It's mad.
Would you play for England or Nigeria?
Yeah, if I'm qualified. Oh, you're asking Nick, to be fair.
And you?
If I
Congo or
I would
England
play for
or France?
just in terms of like the level of where it's at, you have to. That's where I'd answer that question. Honestly, I don't think I can answer that
At
question.
the highest, you're at the highest
else.
professional level. You play. You're Arsenal. You're at Chelsea.
eligible
Nick,
to
you're at
play
Arsenal Academy,
Yeah.
and Jeremi, you're at Chelsea Academy.
Yeah.
Playing for your boyhood teams.
Yeah.
At the highest level, which is the Prem, of course.
Yeah.
Guys, you're about to make dough. Like you're making your breakthroughs. You're about 20 years old. Like this, you've played maybe a few caps, maybe for both, or one or the other. Who knows? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
At this stage, I'm sure both of you. I'm sure both of your parents are native.
Yeah, I think I would.
You know what I mean? So
play
you've got a big
for-
decision to make there.
I think I'll play for Nigeria still.
Yeah, I was just about to say I think I'll play for my home country. And the reason it's not even just because of what happened, that was predictable anyways. But it's just because of there's some sort of disadvantage, when it comes to like national teams. And I watched this YouTube video the other day where this guy was talking about how he went on social media on Facebook and he was looking for football players to come and play in Olympics for this like country in South America.
Okay.
And then it turns out, some of these guys are just local people, or some of these guys play for like big teams in like Premier League and abroad and whatnot. Yeah, but then some of these players ended up playing against Argentina, including playing against Messi. So that was like the first time ever that's happened. So yeah, like
what time?
That was like a dream for them, and then some sort of like advantage for that country in that period. So yeah, of course,
What you telling me?
What you telling me, my G?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
Why you telling me? What you telling me, though?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
Yo, it's one Delts. What you telling me, fam?
What about you? Would you play
Me,
for
Nigeria all day long. You know what I mean?
Come on.
Like, go play for the motherland.
Literally, bro.
And to be honest, yeah, I already encourage it for everyone anyway. Like, I know. Hold on. So I know everybody prefer like the concept of like furthering their careers and all of this stuff. But I just think that if you push yourself and work the hardest to try and be the best, like, pardon me, almost Ronaldo-esque. I don't want to say that because no one can be Ronaldo. Like, the next person to be whatever will be whatever. But like, if you've got that similar mindset, like just that similar work ethic, you can still become one of the best players and still represent your country. You know what I mean? And still do your thing, still play for a big club, but still play for your African heritage country, as opposed, because for instance, there's a lot of people that would be born here that are Colombian, Ecuadorian, yeah. And you know how they are here. Like I got loads of Ecuadorian and Colombian brothers from way back that I know. Hang tight. My Ecuadorians and my Colombians. Soup. Get me. Hola, my brothers, my sisters. Yo, like, for real, like, the reality is, yeah, like, they embrace their culture, like, very proudly. So, like, I think if you have a Colombian that's born here, I don't think it's ever a question for him whether he's going to play for England or Ecuador.
True.
Or whether he's going to play for England or Colombia.
You just know the answer.
Like, he already knew in his heart, I'm playing for Ecuador. I'm playing for my country. I'm playing for Colombia. Do you know what I mean? Whereas you do have the occasional people that are mad, absolutely insane. Like, okay, I'm not going to call him mad, but I'm just going to say it's insane to think that you could ever be Brazilian but choose not to play for Brazil. I'm not going to name any players' names, but a couple of them have done that.
Yeah, a couple.
I think that's insane. You know, the first thing I'm thinking is I want to play for Brazil if I'm Brazilian. You know what I mean?
A couple of
like,
them play for Spain instead.
You know what I mean? But obviously everyone has their reasons for doing it, which is fair. But like, there's just something I've noticed. Like, there's certain countries that people come from. And it don't matter whether they were born in another country or they were born in UK or they were born there or here. They are already, like, it was almost never in question. Is he going to play for Colombia or England? I don't think anyone's even been in that situation, probably because most of these guys have pledged their allegiance to Colombia from early. Do you know what I mean? With that being said, Colombia, Ecuador, these are teams that actually are a bit, you know, I wouldn't say that they're better than African teams, but I would say that they probably have players that play in the Europe's top 5 more than you'd find certain African countries. Yeah, which, you know, you do find a few of them that play in there, but I feel like they tend to be a lot of CDMs and centre backs, couple strikers here and there, but a lot of, like, you know, where the athleticism and the physicality is shown. Is where you'll find a lot of those players. But like, I just feel like, for me, I would always choose Nigeria, and I'd encourage, you know, my child to play for. I'll tell him, play for Nigeria, but obviously he's half Polish, so he can play for Poland if he wants. But most likely, to be honest, he wants to be me. So, you know what I mean? He's probably gonna be you know, that part of me, and might choose it, might not. You never know. But the main thing is, you encourage that shit early. You develop the standard of football there. You know,
Project Mbappe, fam.
Forget. Look at the eye. It's about the way people look at that country now. It's like, oh shit, yeah, they've got that guy and this guy that plays for there. Them man are playing in Real Madrid, or them man are playing for Chelsea or Arsenal, Man U, or fucking Man City. They're just gonna be like, yo, wait a second, these guys are playing for top teams and they're playing for their African respective countries. Like, that is more of an inspiration to your people, like to sort of raise the standard of football. It's nothing about, you know, I feel I'm more Nigerian or I feel I'm more British. Like, I don't think I can even make that judgment. And because I've lived too much here.
If a lot of the players actually played for, like, their home countries, bro, the landscape of African football would be very different.
Very different.
And sorry, I was just gonna say, there's one thing that's a bit mad about this is like, if you want to bring in the business aspect into it, so let's say some of these players in the Premier League get paid a certain amount that they don't even receive even a quarter of it in Africa. Why don't you just play for free? As far as I'm concerned, if I was playing for a country that picked me from where I was, bro, a country that's populated by thousands of you or 2,000 of you, but because you're known, you have an image, you have a name, they're calling for you to represent these thousands of you. You know, that's some sort of privilege that people don't really understand. I don't know.
I agree, but the one thing I could say is that, in essence, you can have a team that has a player of world class and top 5 status who's earning 300k a week at his club with another player who might be part-time or potentially even just only earning a cheeky little 1k a week or whatever, a humble paycheck in football in the football world.
It's like League 1, League 2.
You understand? Like, I think that will be a deterrent for those guys that would have to spend the extra money to do it. My opinion is, obviously, those that are more privileged should be constantly involved in charity work, and by charity work, I mean them actually doing the charity work, spending their money, not donating to charities, but actually seeing to it that a lot of things are being built in their hometowns in their respective countries.
Like, what's this guy's been doing? Rudiger. Rudiger basically, well, that's the story behind his transfer. Like, he's got plans ongoing in back home in Sierra Leone, even though he plays for Germany and everything, but he's got work going on back home. He's opening school, and I think he's got like a football club thing going on.
That's a real G.
You know, so because the sanction is going on in Chelsea, so he's saying that that's but that stole his business. So you had to decide quick.
Okay.
That's
good on him still, man.
But then again, that business with Chelsea and Real Madrid is actually mad. Don't know if you mans know about this, but when Hazard was about to leave, there was like a clip of him talking about, if Rudiger keeps playing like this, I'm not gonna leave or something. I think it was like the final against Arsenal in Europa. He said that if Rudiger keeps playing like this, then I'll stay or some shit like that.
Yeah.
This time, I don't even think these two are friends like that. You know, Hazard and Rudiger.
I think he just respects what he's seen.
Yeah,
he
basically.
can probably see the come up.
But the fact that he's going there now, obviously, Hazard's still talking about wanting to play for the next 3 years. I feel like it may have something to do with him being there.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Hazard needs to fix up, though.
Yeah,
he does, man.
He does, bro. All the injuries and what have you, like, it's just not working.
He gained
out.
weight as well, didn't he?
Yeah. The last game he played quite sick, though. That was just like when he just came back from injury.
Like, off topic, maybe slightly on topic. Don't you find it annoying, when professional athletes, like, trash their body?
Yeah.
Like, I respect Tyson Fury as a boxer, but it frustrates me when I see him pulling up press conference with his belly out, like, and I'm like, rotted, my G. And then, like, obviously he's cutting weight quick. He's cutting weight quick, so he's doing his thing, don't get me wrong. But I'm just thinking, like, it just doesn't do well for the image of the sport in terms of, like, maybe at least the eliteness of it, like, because you can't get, like, some people might think that they can get to his level and be his weight, like he is a one of a kind, bro.
But then
exactly,
he can't be compared. And some people are going to be big but overweight and think that they might be able to go in there with a bit of head movement and get their bloody jaws knocked off. You know what I mean? And on top of that, like,
put it back into
you seen that Paddy Pimblett guy, bruv?
Yeah.
Oh, this guy, bro. This guy turns
UFC brother.
Bro, this guy's skinny as hell when he's fighting, and he turns into a blowfish, bro.
Literally.
Right.
Man turn blowfish, bruv.
Right. Man said he's
why did man turn blowfish?
He's stacking up.
He's proper big now.
Between the weighing and the fight.
But he like it's like this guy Sodnik, what's his name? Gerald Cornery or something.
Yeah, Konya.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, he started off as a heavy and worked his way down. But this is also why I said that I think Izzy will touch him, man.
Yeah, you got a point there still.
Time spent in divisions does matter, man.
Yeah.
Izzy's cleared everyone in his division, like it's bare different styles. Bare different styles.
Did he not also stop? Did he not do kickboxing and like?
Smoked almost everyone out apart from that Pereira. That Pereira guy was the only guy to knock him out, and he's joined the UFC now.
Oh yeah. There was some of those. There's some of that Izzy fought who has like he was quite heavy-handed. Starts with a G like Guatem. Was it Gualatem?
Gastelum, Kevin Gastelum.
Yeah,
that was one of his toughest fights, bro.
Yeah,
like you see him.
That
was the fight that they got a clip of him like saying, "Yo, I'll die for this.
Yeah.
I would die for this." Like, I have to put that African in Nigeria. I would die for this. I would die for this. I would die for this. Yeah, like that moment. Yeah, it was crazy. Do you know why? Yeah, because you can believe it, bro. His face is busted up, bro.
Yeah.
For someone to have their face busted up, like everything. Yeah, his lip was fucked. His eye was swollen. Like he looked. Yeah, he's been touched. That I really believe that. I want to see them fight again, but I don't know. I don't think it'll be the same.
No, maybe not.
I think Izzy's a lot safer now.
That was a mad fight. No, I've actually just thought about it because it's not easy to get to catch him like that, you know. Mm-hmm. You seen his fight against Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva is, he's got quick hands and whatnot, but he was still not able to touch him like that.
He's got range control, bro.
Literally, bro. The guy it doesn't really run around the ring as much as well, but he's go.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, he's also. There's another guy good at this. He's good at fighting on the back foot.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't credit this guy for it. What's his name? Sean O'Malley. I see him on the back foot. He throws good hands on the back foot.
Yeah.
People don't credit as much because I think people feel like he's fought some. But whatever, like, I'm not going too much into that. Fighting on the back foot, I feel like, he's quite tidy. Yeah. Izzy going on the back foot is elite, man. Yeah. Like you can run at him and he can be clipping you while you're stepping to him. He's clipping you, stepping back, and he knows when to pivot out as well. He knows when to pivot out.
There's a clip of him where he's taking punches and he beats his chest and he fucking punches the guy twice and he beats his chest again.
Yeah.
I love that clip.
That is that.
He goes
that full power.
Yeah, literally.
Like, boom, boom. Do you know what I used to eat when I was a baby? While you were eating sweeties and crisps and whatever, I was eating pounded yam with my mum.
Food.
I was eating yam and eggs.
Talking about that, do you believe? Do you guys? Oh yeah, this is I don't know if you want to go down this rabbit hole still. I swear to God, it's one of those things. It's a genetic conversation, isn't it?
Okay, let's go. Let's hear it.
So, do you believe in the fact that we have the dominant gene as Africans?
I do believe that there's something about Africans in it.
Yes.
I don't want to be direct about dominant gene, but I do want to say that there's just something about about a true African.
Yeah.
So
it's like a power.
In terms of physical
like a muscle,
aspects.
But I do think that Africans, generally speaking, are closer in spirituality to the truth.
Right. And why'd you say that?
Because, bro, our ways were only broken not so long ago. Whereas a lot of, when you go into like the history of, sort of, when you go into like the mainstream history that they give you, like a lot of things come and then they fall, and they come and then they fall, and then they come and they fall. Like I just feel like these guys were like closest to the non-materialistic truth.
Definitely.
Like I feel like materialism. I feel like when we're born in the Western world, materialism hits us early. Yeah, from young, we're already seeing the same logos, the same signs, and we're able to identify which logo appeals to us and which one is like for someone else. And like we start, our body starts conditioning itself to things that we're around, to the environment. And we're being in the city, especially in the Western world, being in a city, you're as far away from nature as you should be.
Concrete jungle, man.
Do you know what I mean? And I just feel like you're gonna find the truth in nature. We're not gonna find the truth in technology will take us to different places, but it won't bring us the truth. Like technology doesn't come with us when we die.
No, it doesn't.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I mean, yeah.
So I do think there's something about Africans, like, and also I just feel like, you know,
I feel like it's a very surreal experience.
Why persecute, black people so much for so long? Like, you know, I dog. I do
It's
feel
hatred,
like,
bro.
I do feel like, you know, those racist motherfuckers. There's something about us that they know that they hate.
Yep.
You know, and we don't know it because, you know, they've done a very good job of deleting history. A lot of books torn to pieces and shredded and burned.
I remember when
history.
When I came to England, when I was quite young, maybe like, well, I don't know, 12, 13. I remember my pastor used to tell us this story every now and then in church. He used to say things like, I'll be at the airport, you know, like, it would be, whatever it would be, just like random place, and you come across like this one, you know, lady, like this white lady. Bear in mind, this could just be anyone who's, you know, in the street. You'd be, oh yeah, this white lady, you know, she's like giving me a bad service, for example, for no reason. She's just not being nice to me for no reason. She's giving me dirty looks. She, you know, saying X, Y, and Z. So these were different people in different scenarios, he would say. And every time he would say that they used to do that because they saw some light in him. You know, they saw this light in him that they didn't like. You know, so that thing, I used to hear that a lot as I was getting older, you know. Oh, you got the light on you, that people don't like that aura on you, that people don't like. Then as I was, you know, then I started seeing it myself, like,
you start to identify with
it's
that.
like it's just happening still, like, around you, you know. Like, I'm sure when you go into some places where you're just like, you know, you're like in a restaurant, for example, you know, the waitress come and serving you, she looks happy and everything, but the service isn't what you expected it to be. Like last time when you guys came to see me, bro, on my birthday, on my own birthday, they forgot to serve me, but they served everyone else.
Poor service.
Yeah.
What did I do? I was nice, smiling, saying hi, X, Y, and Z to people at the restaurant, but they forgot to serve me. So, yeah, my small things like that, I start to pick up, like, is it this light that I have in me? That this is what, you know, people are doing, X, Y, and Z.
Put it this way, bro.
You know?
Like, some people, feel an energy when someone comes in. Like, look, I don't think, I'm not calling people psychic.
Yeah.
I don't think people even know what they feel when they feel.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It must
But
be.
I do think people do, because I know for sure. I know for sure sometimes I step in a space, and if it's a space that's not for me, like, I would immediately see the energy of everyone else around me, and I'll know that it's not for me. And it's not like they'll be showing bait signs or anything like that.
Yeah, you could just read it.
But it's just there's something about the aura, and there's a lot of the time that I come into a space and I see people change sometimes, like, and you know, it don't happen often anymore because I'm quite like, you know, if you listen to my bars, extroverted, introvert on the low. You know, I'm very, very like out there, but I really do appreciate being alone.
Yeah.
Man, like Big Dave in the background, just reshuffling.
Get comfy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go step out real quick. You know?
Yeah.
I'll be back though.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Yeah, so like, this is obviously, you know, goes back to this whole alpha male again. So like something like, I also believe that alpha male conversation.
Hold up.
Sorry. Oh shit. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Just move that out of the way for now.
It's mad late. No, I was gonna say, the alpha male conversation, I think that also has to do with your aura. you know, like what you bring into the room, like how you when you go into a place and people feel some type of way.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you know, when we're talking about alpha males in the last episode, like, you know, I feel like people sort of have their own opinions on what alpha male is, but like, you know, they did link it back a lot to success and stuff, and I just felt like success, you can only show elements of the you can only show elements of alpha male when it comes to success, but you can't necessarily make a complete judgment about a person's character based on their success, because I feel like the factors that add up to success don't always add up to being an alpha male.
It's not
you
really,
know?
It's not really about, you know. I mean, I think it's mostly about what people think about you. I don't really think you as a person really have anything to say in there. You know, whether you think you're an alpha male or not.
No, I don't think you have a say.
Yeah, I don't think at all.
I do think that you can identify it if you really know what it is, but I don't think you have a say.
How would you do that? Because, you know, in some cases you can...
Bro, sometimes you can feel how people are when they get around you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, generally speaking, some people might get around you and for some reason they really, really want to... They want to go with your idea.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh,
yeah,
dude,
that's
but
it.
you contribute something, please. It's like, no. Like, and it's like,
that's a good point.
Sometimes,
very good point there.
Sometimes that could show elements of alpha male, like people seeing you as the go-to guy when it comes to making something happen. That could be an element of being an alpha male. Being someone that people call on whenever in any sort of trouble sometimes could be an alpha male sort of thing. I mean, not necessarily when you need advice, but
It's
when
like
you really do need some direct support.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you need direct support. If someone sees you as a wise man, that could be alpha male as well. And alpha male is not necessarily, I don't think, someone that comes in and tries to be imposing in the room. I feel it's someone who comes in, he is himself, and people will react the way they react.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it, man. And that's why I said I don't really think anyone can have a say on, especially yourself as a person.
No, you can't have a say, no.
I mean, even like I'm also looking at it from like, you know, the mafia bosses and stuff like that. You know, like because these guys are already put on that pedestal where they're above everyone. Do they think they have that sort of thinking? Like what? Because they're sort of they're looking after their members and also taking care of the family. So this
I
is
don't
what,
think,
you know.
no, I don't think they be calling themselves an alpha male left, right, and center, but you know, they have to sometimes teach their young G's. Do you know what I mean? And when you got to teach a young G, like, you know, there's an element of alpha male in that within itself, but obviously, I mean, it's obviously coming from where they're coming from as well. They're coming from like a street. It's not like, oh, just any old normal person living a normal life having. No, this is like someone that's gonna have to teach them certain things about. Do you know what I mean? And you know, levels could really, really change with what they're gonna say to the person that they're talking to. Do you know what I mean? That's why I say like guidance is one of the big things that comes from someone that is a mafia boss. See, like something that Oprah touched on in the last episode. She was saying that not necessarily someone who is on the street is gonna be a bad guy, and not necessarily somebody who is clean, straight, and narrow is necessarily gonna be a good guy. Yeah, there could be a guy that is straight and narrow, clean, but he beats the shit out of his wife on the slide. No one knows it. And there could be a guy that's from the streets who does sell like drugs, and you know, obviously that's a negative contribution to his community. But in his household and the people that know him closely and the people that are around him, he might contribute to them. He might contribute to his community. He might take care of people. He might, you know, he might be the guy that whoops the ass of the motherfucker that was whooping his woman. You know, like the reality is, not all bad people do bad things, and not all good people do good things.
Literally.
Do you know what I mean? So not all people that do bad things are bad people, and vice versa.
I think the whole bad and good thing is programmed in our brain because, like, as you're getting older, as you're understanding what's right and wrong, at the same time, your brain is also making decisions. Is that it?
Yeah, you can't carry it.
Oh. Yeah, no, so yeah, your brain is making a decision to decide what's good and what's not good. But then you also got influencers on TV telling you what's actually not good and what's actually not bad. You know, like, so it's a bit of a tumble dry, bro. You know, like your brain has to go through for a while until you actually decide, yo. But then again, I do think experience and environment plays a big part into this conversation. So if you didn't live in that environment, you won't understand. If you didn't experience these things, you won't understand. So if someone's talking to you from a point of view to say, oh yeah, I know this guy who was you know, he dressed blacked out every time you saw him. But when you go into his house, the guy will cook for you, serve you food and that. But when you see him in the street, you're thinking, raw, he's probably got a knife on him, you know, roadman, X, Y, and Z. But,
And, you know, especially when we talk about the old school days, the roadman, you know, was also the guy that, you know, when he sees anybody's mum, he's like, oh, sorry, auntie, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, obviously nowadays, I'm sure, like, these guys are stabbing people in front of their parents and shit. They're crazy as fuck.
Songs, talking about it, saying...
Yeah. And Nick is back. Yeah, leave that. Don't worry about it.
Do you know the toilet here?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going a bit.
Yeah, to be fair, we're gonna wrap up soon. We're gonna be wrapping up soon anyway. You know, we've given them quite a bit. The last couple episodes have been quite hefty, understandably.
Yeah.
But
go on, bro.
yeah, like you're right. Like ultimately, though, like being the alpha male, like I just don't think that has anything to do with a person's with anything a person is trying to do themselves, man.
Literally.
It's just who you are. Like you walk up in the space, and the reality is you can be an alpha male and go up in another space and not be the alpha male in that space. That is very possible because there are always, you know, as they say, there's always someone that, you know, you can fight all the time if you like, but there's always going to be someone that can whoop your ass. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? There's always going to be someone. Mike Tyson would have got his ass whooped by someone else. Yeah, whoever beat Mike Tyson can get his ass whooped too. Yeah. You know, Mike Tyson got beaten up by Evander Holyfield. Yeah. Evander Holyfield got made a mockery of by James Toney. James Toney was fucking sticking his tongue out at him mid-fight, like within range. I don't know if y'all see that video, but he, you know, James Toney is a Philly shell specialist, but he likes to use it offensively. He's always in your space. He stays close. And imagine, he's like this.
No way.
Like, by the way, James Toney also got his ass handed to him by somebody before too. You know, and I still think James Toney. And you know what? Yeah, James Toney went to MMA and thought he could smoke guys in MMA. He used to trash talk bears, and he got beaten by I forgot who it was now, but it was someone that was like quite a decent grappler. He got handled. He got wrapped up early. He didn't know what to do when as soon as he hit the deck. Sorry, there's always someone badder.
Exactly.
You know, and that guy that wrapped him up will get wrapped up by someone else in MMA. Exactly. You know, and then there's someone out in the jungle that the best MMA fighter can meet and will get his ass handed to him. Like, you know, like unfortunately for people, like, you know, Ngannou is the baddest man known on earth at the moment in terms of like we've recorded his punch and seen how fucked it is. But there is someone in the jungle, maybe even where he's from, or close to where he's from, that can probably throw a punch that will record a bit more power than that. Trust.
Yep.
That's life.
Trust.
So yeah, like you know, the alpha male thing is still perspective. Like, you know, you could be an alpha male in a certain space and just go up in a space with like bare alpha males, and like now the alpha male is the one that's gonna stand out. You know what I mean? Like all the rest of these alpha males, they're gonna listen up and keep in check.
Yeah, I think being conscious of your social status as well in this country, especially in the UK, is very important. Because then that allows you to know how to operate in certain spaces, how to move. But
that's something we got to teach the young G's.
Yeah.
Because they be thinking like, you know, the way I'm talking right now is I'll be talking with them in a professional environment.
Yeah.
They be thinking they can say, yes, my G.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mate,
You know?
let me tell you.
Or they be writing down ain't and in it. And you know the thing, yeah. You know the thing, yeah. Like, how could you write that? How could you put that in writing? Like, you fucking insane. Like, these young bucks have no fucking skills at the moment. Like, yo, guys, I'm joking. But the young bucks that I've come across, some of them have no skills. Like, you joking? You know the thing, yeah. So you know what it is like. Like what? Like, yo, you got me sounding like one of them old school dunnies. But the truth is, like, I just feel like there's a big difference between, you know, the young generation back then and the young generation now, innit? Like, when we were younger, I just feel like people that were on stupid shit were still like within certain reasoning.
Yeah.
Now you're hearing of people getting their heads cut off broad day.
Types of madness, bro.
Bro, I literally, this is what I'm saying, though, the Portuguese law in Stratford. Literally, my entire education up until I went to uni, I studied with fucking gangbangers, bro. Like,
I can imagine.
I was friends with gangbangers. Like, my sister came to see me, and she kept saying, like, after not seeing me for like 4 years, she kept saying, like, she's so glad I never joined the gang. Imagine. Like, these times, when you see me, you spend time with me and whatnot, you don't really get that vibe.
Yeah.
You get me? But
that's another thing that I used to see a lot of as well from our peoples, that because we seem a way that they don't understand.
Literally.
You know what I mean? But they didn't grow up here enough, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So they think you're not on the straight and narrow if you act or sound a certain way.
Yeah,
exactly.
But they don't know that people don't act like the way they want people to act no more. Yeah, I mean, that's just not common like that.
Yeah. Trying to be cool, trying to blend in and all of that.
When you say
it's
like
funny, you know, because like there's loads of different age groups and styles and cultures and whatever. I don't know how people think you can blend all that in. I don't understand that. I don't think it makes sense for any sort of generation. I think what would say for our generation, black guys around 90s, well, 80s, 90s, we had something going on there. I don't know what the fuck happened after then, honestly, but there was something going on around the 80s, 90s that we can sit here and have a conversation. But no, I'm just saying people around that generation. We can sit here and have a conversation. But people after that generation, I mean, I speak to my sister every now and then, yes. But once again, I want to bring her up because it seems like she was more involved in what was going on in my life, because it was like I had so much to do, you know, friends on fucking MSN, playing football the next day on the street. Next day, the day after that, you're in an area you've never been before. The day after that, you're getting the bus to go to fucking central London. You know, you'll be in new groups of people. But now it's like, it's a I don't know, I don't get it, bro. Like now it's like you have to sort of tick everything in order to, you know, become friends with these people, in order to fit into this group, in order to do
perception,
that.
man.
Like,
Perception.
you don't have to be, there's a lot. Like this, I don't know, you know, if people listen or whatever, but especially the younger generation.
I hope so.
I talk to my sister about this a lot. There is a lot going on in terms of cultural influence and this and that.
Yeah.
And trust me, it's too much to put all in to say, you know what, I understand it all. I can do this. I'm like this person. I'm like that person. Like, I'll use myself an example now. I love fucking drill music, but only in the gym.
Makes sense.
Because I know how violent that shit is in
And music reads
my
into your
brain.
soul.
You get me? Like, I listen to that in my brain and I'm like, yo, let me fucking do this, let me do this, let me do that. But that's just how I train myself. That's how I taught myself. And someone who friends used to call Lord Gage, because I get angry every now and then. But I have that control, I believe. I have that control where I could put my hand to my chest and say, I've never had the urge to even want to hit a woman, and that I grew up around mostly women in my life. I have 3 sisters. The whole time, or like things has been happening in my life. Not once I had the urge to think, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Because there's just, I don't know, man. I feel like once people sit down and understand that you can't be in control of everything all at once.
Yeah.
You have to prioritize yourself, prioritize your fucking
Step by step.
mindset, prioritize your physical aspect. Physical aspect comes first before mind, because once you see that you're I mean, I'm sure when you hear comments from your boys say, oh, yo, bro, this looks good, that looks good, I'm sure that goes into your brain. That's your mind thinking positive from then.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Plus, they say physical activity as well. Man.
Yeah.
Do shit.
You do some shit. You don't.
Physical activity really does, beat out the bullshit in your system.
Exactly,
do you know what
bro.
I mean?
You don't have to do all this shit to try blend, to try,
Plus, you find real G's in the gym.
Exactly, bro. There's a whole culture in the gym as well. A whole culture of people.
Hang tight, Dino.
You come
real
across
G in the
people
gym.
who've never even said a word before, but you're there. You say what going to them, they say what going by. You smile, they smile back. Every time you see them, you get the same reaction. That's some sort of culture there. But I don't know if people want to understand that there's a life outside of all this,
gang shit. It is what it is, though, my G.
Trust me, bro. It is what it is.
I say, people have to just throw their little 2 pence in to contribute towards the cause, and eventually we'll find some sort of breakthrough that we can start flooding.
Yeah.
But with that being said, people, it's What You Telling Me podcast with my brother Jeremi and Nick, the villain, the Nigerian villain. Yeah, I mean, I said to him earlier, I'll rob you for that name if I didn't know you, dog. If you're someone, and then I'll trademark that. I'll go pay for the trademark.
About to say I'll trademark.
Yeah, but I'll go pay for the trademark. By the time you try trademark it, bro, you'll be all over the place. You'll be like, fuck, I gotta think of a new name. But this is my G, the Nigerian villain. That's the coldest name, bro. And to be fair, you need to use that when you get in the ring.
Yeah.
The Nigerian villain. Yeah, trust me, man like Usman will want to link up with you.
Yeah. I hear that.
The Nigerian nightmare and the Nigerian villain. Get me? But people, What You Telling Me podcast, make sure you drop us some comments, like, subscribe, you know what I mean? Hit us up on the Instagram, TikTok, and whatnot. Get high with us, get fly with us. And make sure, people, you tell us whatever you liked about the episodes, all of the episodes. Drop your comments about what you want us to talk about in the next episodes.
Drop some jewels.
You know what I mean? And we'll talk about those in the next episodes. And also drop your favorite co-hosts, who you enjoyed, all my guests, who you enjoyed. We're going to bring people back for show. Yeah? But people, thank you very much for joining me, people. Everyone viewing, and my brothers here.
Shout out to David.
Shout out to Wild Biz. White beard's in the background.
Slumped.
You know, he's slumped. He was slumped for the whole duration. Respect to him. That's like a 3 hour long. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to wake his ass up. You know what I mean? But yo, what you telling me? You telling me?
What you telling me?
What you telling me, my G?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
What you telling me? What you telling me, though?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
What you telling me?
Yo, it's one Delts. What you telling me, fam?